when I had moved to Yokai Chiba from Austin, I was a fit guy. I'd done a lot of going to the gym with a coworker of mine and doing a lot of cycling with my roommates, a lot of trail running. So I was a pretty fit guy. And when I got to Japan, I wanted to maintain that fitness after I got situated. And it turns out that where I worked, at the high school where I worked, they had a gym. And it was this disused room that they had thrown some like cable equipment in from like the early 80s. Like it was old, and because the buildings aren't climate controlled, especially out there, just the elements had degraded the machinery. Pieces were rusty, creaky, things didn't work really correctly. They were hard to adjust. They just weren't very good or in good condition. And so occasionally I'd go down to the admin office, get the key, unlock, go work out, or try to work out, and it just was a futile effort. I thought, I gotta figure something out. And I never really thought about doing body weight exercises or working out at home. In my mind, the only way to stay fit like that was to go to a gym. So I asked my colleagues, I said, is there any other option? And one colleague said, I think there might be a fitness place further east in a town called Asahi. I said, okay, I'll go check it out. I got nothing to do every day anyway after work and on the weekends. So, there's really nothing to do out there. So I figured, well, I'll go explore. So I jumped on the train one day. It was just a couple stops east, and got off, and turns out there was a fitness place called Bang Fitness. I always wanted to call it Big Bang Fitness, but it was just Bang Fitness. And I walked in, and it looked like a normal fitness place. There was free weights, and there was modern treadmills and modern machine weights, and I could see through a glass wall that they had a lap pool. It was like a proper gym. I thought, ooh, this might be the place. So I had gone up to the counter, and just their faces went pale. And I knew why. At that point, I had known why. Out there, when they see a foreigner, it's really common for people to get really nervous because they're thinking, this foreigner doesn't speak Japanese, I don't speak English, this is going to be awkward. It's going to make my job harder. And I get it, I can understand why they think that. I was a little nervous because I didn't know the vocabulary associated with signing a contract for a gym membership, or understanding the hours or the rules, or if they had showers or not, like all these basic questions you might ask if you're signing up for a gym. I never had to use those words before, so I was a little bit nervous myself. So I walk up to the countertop, and this poor gal she looked terrified. I mean, the expression on her face was like me. It was like I walked up holding a decapitated head and placed it on the counter. I mean, she just was panic-stricken. And we started to interact, and then finally this musclehead guy, one of her coworkers, fit, short shorts, tight shirt, young dude around my age, real big smile, walked around and said, "Hey, don't worry, colleague, I'll handle the foreign guy. See if we can get him signed up." And she like breathed a sigh of relief, and he came over, and he could tell that I was serious about wanting to work out, and he gave me the tour, asked some basic questions. I took some notes. I had my dictionary as well, and he had a dictionary, and we looked up certain words to try to communicate, and we smiled and we laughed together, trying to figure out how to make it work. And the price was a little expensive for me. I want to say it was close to $100 a month, around that. It was unlimited though. I could go to any classes I want. I could swim, I could work out, I could go whenever I wanted. That was a lot of money for me, and a lot of money for a gym, fundamentally. And I thought about it. I thought, well, what else am I going to do with my money? I've got nothing to do. I'm not going shopping. Yeah, I'm going to dinners, but they're not that expensive. So I decided, what the heck? The cancellation policy was, it was a month-to-month membership, which was great. So if it got too expensive, I could just cancel it. So I said, sure, let's sign up. He was excited, and we went back, and his coworker, she could see that he was getting the documentation for me, so she was excited that it was a success. And we got to the point where I'd signed my paperwork, and I went over to get my photograph taken at the machine so I could get my ID card so I could swipe it when I came in each time. And it worked out well. I got my membership, paid each month, no problem. And I remember one time, and I would work out the way I normally worked out in America, which was different than how they worked out in Japan. And so I would get some strange looks sometimes, but I would do a lot of free weights work, do a lot of interesting bench workouts. I wasn't just doing body curl, bicep curls with the dumbbells, and I wasn't just doing chest press. I was doing different stuff. And I remember one day I wanted to go just do a swim workout. I knew how to swim. I wasn't going to drown, but I wasn't like a swimmer. And I got in the pool. I did bring my swim trunks, and I got stopped mid-swim by the staff. And I thought, oh no, did I break a rule? And they said, hey, you can't be in here. And I thought, oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was part of the membership. They said, it is, but you're not wearing a swim cap. I said, really? They said, yeah, swim cap is required here in the swimming pool because that's proper swimming attire. And I thought, oh man, I don't have a swim cap. I don't even know where to get a swim cap. And I was like, really? I got to get out? And they said, yep. They weren't mean, but they were very serious. And I thought, oh man. And at that point, I'd been in Japan long enough to understand that, rules are made to be followed there. If there was a policy or a rule, it was incumbent upon everyone to follow that policy or that rule. That's just the way that it was. So I felt kind of embarrassed, and then I also understood that they were doing their job, so I got out of the pool, and I never got back in the pool. I didn't know where to get a swim cap or one that would fit my head. I had a big head. There was no way that I was going to find a swim cap to fit me. But I continued going to the gym, and I'd have it was a way for me to keep a routine after work. There wasn't anything to do, and it got to the point where I would get off work, I would ride my bike home, change into my workout clothes, get my shoulder bag, get some Japanese learning materials like audio or flashcards, ride my bike to the train, take the couple of stops over to Asahi, walk from the station through the neighborhood, get to the shopping area where the gym was. I'd work out really hard. On my way back to the station in Asahi, I'd get a single bag of chips and a single can of beer. Probably not the best post-workout food, but that's what I would do. That was my tradition. And I'd always wait for the weirdest flavor of chips. One day they'd have shrimp mayonnaise flavored, the other day they'd have consomme flavor, other day they would just have salt flavor, or they might have soy sauce flavor or ponzu flavor. They had all these different types of flavors of potato chips, and I was fascinated, and they were delicious. They were fantastic. They were like a thicker Lay's potato chip, some local brand there. And that became my process. I had my train schedule dialed in, so I'd time my workout to get it done with enough time to walk, stop by the little market, get back to the train station, get on, jump off, get on my bike, and go. It was a great little routine, and I got in great shape. And wasn't eating, other than the beer and the potato chips, I wasn't eating an American style diet, so I was eating in a very local way. So I was getting trim and I was getting fit, and it was great. So that was my path beyond, getting my gym membership at Bang Fitness, and that challenge. And I was glad that I went outside of my comfort zone, not knowing the vocabulary and just being willing to look like a dummy going up to the counter, and it all worked out. It in the long run, it worked out. It was a little awkward. I felt a little bit silly, but I'm glad I did it because it paid off, because I was able to work out for months and months and months after that and develop a routine, and I really enjoyed it. So tune in next time for the next story on Paths Beyond.